Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, April 23rd, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. It's great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. Spring is here, and that means the reopening of Summers on Central. This week, the DPW set up the very popular outdoor recreation area. Located on a small section of Central Street between Manhattan and Cottage, the area features turf grass with an abundance of picnic tables to enjoy the outdoors. DPW Director Mark Ryan explains what it takes to set up the street.
Hi everyone, Mark Ryan here from Public Works and on Central Street. It's April 22nd, 2021. We're closing Central Street down between Manhattan Street and East Cottage Street for the second year in a row. This is as a result of getting people out to downtown during COVID 2020, and it was such a smashing success. We're doing the same event this year. So this we'll close Central Street down now till probably right around Thanksgiving. So Public Works, Light Department, and Recreation Department work hand in hand on this. Presently in the background you can see they're laying down the artificial turf. That turf was installed last year, rolled up at the end of the year, put in storage, and now we're back laying it out, getting it all fitted and tied down and neatly put together. In addition, you'll see some concrete barriers on the side. They were painted very handsomely by some students at Norwood High. These concrete barriers serve as the foundations for the overhead lighting that the Light Department will install. Public Works has a lot of plantings down here. These wine barrels that we used last year were stored, and they've been brought down, and plants have been put in them, and more plants will be put in the next few days. We have hand sanitizing dispensers that will be put up. We have more barricades we put at the end of each street, concrete barricades, as well as concrete planters to neaten it up, protect the public that are in here, but also to beautify it. And we also have all the picnic tables that was built last year by Public Works and the Facilities Department. Those were stored away. Prior to this, we sandblasted all of them, and we've stained them all. So after the carpet's in and the barricades at the end of the street are in, those picnic tables we put in place along with the umbrellas because it does get quite a bit of sun down here, but it is a beautiful place to visit. We look forward to Central Street closure for 2021. Come on down, enjoy Norwood Center, shop, dine, and just have a great time and be safe.
Thanks, Mark. Saturday, April 24th, Norwood Police will be participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, which aims to provide a safe, convenient, and responsible means of disposing of prescription drugs while also educating the general public about the potential for abuse of medications. Located just inside the front entrance of the Norwood Police Station, on the left, is a receptacle designated for disposing of unwanted or expired medications. This collection site is available and accessible 24/7 for anyone looking to safely dispose of any medications or prescriptions. We'll be right back after this break with an update from the Rec Department and a local business giving back. Welcome back. Giving the Glam was affected greatly, just like other businesses, when the COVID-19 pandemic shut everything down last year. Founder Maristella Rappo explains how she overcame the obstacles throughout the year.
Like everything, COVID-19 had such an effect on small businesses, including nonprofits. Being a nonprofit, Giving the Glam relies heavily on their major fundraiser held each year with all their sponsors. When that was canceled, Maristella was unsure of the future, but one thing we know from Maristella, she is always keeping her head high and moving forward.
And that was the bad and the good, because COVID teach us how to take the next step, how to survive. And I think for especially nonprofit like us, we get hit first, doesn't matter what. If the economy go down, we get hit first. Nobody gonna donate. I mean, how you gonna support a fundraiser because you don't know what's coming next? And we was trying to figure out what can I do, but to this point I say, let it be, until Giving Tuesday for Facebook fundraiser came in, and I never gave it so much credit. Until then I say, you know what? Maybe I should give it credit this time. Maybe I should try to focus on that and see how we do it. And we did the fundraiser for Giving Tuesday. That was something that I truly had to learn. And we ended up raising $14,000. That was a shocker.
In June, Maristella and her team got word there would be no high school prom for the 2020 seniors. Maristella was devastated for all her participants. There were 3 very special students in particular that reached out to Maristella.
Well, it was really hard for them. When I had to announce on my Instagram, Giving the Glam Instagram, was really hard, because after I had to announce that we are totally off proms and the events, I had a message that kids went through depression. I have, like last year, we were supposed to help closer to 200 kids. And out of the 200 kids, 25 kids had a special need. And 3 of my special need kids was graduating. Then was no way they would have this opportunity to enjoy prom with the friends. And like with my kids that has a special need, they not only face the financial challenge, they face all the challenge that life throw on them. Then I remember that one of the parents called me, that was April, and she was crying. And she asked me, listen, I know that there's so much going on now, and my kid is autistic, and we went through so much to get to this point. Could you please promise me when this is all over, could you really do something? Just take a picture with him in a tuxedo. And I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I don't care what I have to do, but I will make something happen for them. Soon we have a little green light, I'm okay. I will go there and I contact you. I say, I give you my word. And 3 out of my participants, one of them was a Down syndrome. I have one young lady that cerebral palsy, and Jonathan that was autistic. And I never Give the Glam don't provide parties. We don't provide event, nothing. But because of them, that was my kid with special needs, I did something. I did an event for them, for each of them special. And it was something that people say, oh, I didn't know you guys provide event. I say, we don't. But I just didn't want my kids that had a special need, that worked so hard for all this year, to don't have that chance, with their family. And that was something that, yes, was a tragedy 2020. But those 3 participants make it worthwhile. With the experience and the reward in the end was it feels like I win against COVID. Say, okay, you're trying to knock us down, but I did something and we won. And that was the beauty of it.
With things moving forward and schools reopening fully, Maristella is still planning on having some participants for the 2021 season.
Yes, we are. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to help 200 kids or 150 kids the way we always do every year. But we're definitely going to have about, 70 kids, maybe 8 schools total, 8-9 schools. I mean, we're trying to do our best. I really don't want to disappoint my participants again. I know that was not me, but when you have such a huge responsibility like this, you wanted to make things happen. And this year, yes, we're definitely gonna do it. It's gonna be a little different still, because it's not gonna be officially prom. Some school is gonna do a graduation party, then we're gonna dress them as a prom dress. Some of them gonna do a fashion show. Some of them thinking maybe throw an event in the parking lot. Then it's gonna be a little different.
If you're interested in helping out with Giving the Glam, there are many ways to give back other than just donating money.
You can support in many different ways. If it's not financially, that are very welcome. You can go to our website. Is everything the detail there, how you want. Any amount are very welcome. And there's a different, if you're a hairstyle, a makeup artist, or a manicure, or anything that you have a talent that you can help us make a difference, a photographer or videographer, you are welcome to come in. Now it's like, of course, anything will make a difference to this point.
Maristella cannot wait to see all her participants this year. Even though it is a late start to getting everything prepped, planned, and in order, she is eager as ever to get back to doing what she loves. Please visit givingtheglam.org to learn more about Giving the Glam.
Looking for something to do for all ages? This week on our park tour, we head down to the Hawes Pool and Endine Recreation Area where you'll find all types of activities for the whole family.
Hi there, Norwood. Christina Grandy here at Hawes Park and Playground. As you can see, we have this beautiful playground behind me. Some families are outside today enjoying this weather and having some fun, so come on down. We also have Hawes Pool, which will be open this summer. Our camps will get to enjoy it, and all pool positions are currently still open for the summer. For more information, please email hweinstein@norwoodma.gov. To my right, we have Ivets tennis courts and pickleball courts. So bring your paddles, come on down. And lastly, because there's so much awesome stuff to highlight at this park, we have Endine Park and Trails, where our new Puddle Stompers program is going to be. That starts next Friday, April 30th. To register or for more information, you can go to myrec.com or the town website. Also, feel free to email me, cgrandy@norwoodma.gov. I'd love to hear from you families. See you soon.
Thank you, Christina. Travis Farley here with the Norwood Recreation Department. We're actually here behind the Coakley Middle School. We're at the Jerry Miller Athletic Complex. It is actually named after our prior superintendent, Jerry Miller, named after him in 2017. We actually, at this complex, it is the largest complex that we manage in town. It has 2 soccer, football, and lacrosse field combinations. We actually have another softball field in the rear, and then we have a lower baseball field in the lower section of the athletic complex. Fun tidbit, we actually have an old track in the rear part of the complex with a bang wall for lacrosse and soccer use that we just put in last year. And the Norwood Little League manages 2 fields in the back. So it is a lot of, we actually have a fitness trail here as well with a lot of fitness elements that you can work out with. So if you're looking for any activities to do to just kind of walk around and work out, please feel free to use it. We actually have the cross-country trail for the high school back here. We just put in a disc golf course last week. That's going to be opening up in May. So we're very excited about all the improvements in the complex. We hope you can use it, and we're hoping to see you out here this summer. Thank you, Norwood.
The Massachusetts Comprehensive Assessment System, better known as MCAS, is a statewide standards-based test that began in 1993. State and federal law mandates that all students who are enrolled in the tested grades and who are educated with Massachusetts funds participate in the testing. The Norwood School Department is preparing for the upcoming tests, and let's learn how. Here's school reporter Juliana O'Neill.
Hi guys, I'm Juliana O'Neill. This week was April vacation, and I hope teachers and students all enjoyed their break. Today we are going to take a behind-the-scenes look at the upcoming MCAS tests. The information technology team plays an important role preparing for the state tests. They manage the students' Chromebooks, create student accounts, and monitor the school Wi-Fi and network infrastructure. Ironically, the IT staff makes sure that technology doesn't get in the way during the testing process. Here's IT Director Joe Kidd.
So the students are taking the MCAS test on their Chromebooks as they have in the past. So what we do every year that they take the MCAS is what's called an infrastructure trial, which is basically a practice test under testing conditions. And the purpose of an infrastructure trial is to make sure that the students are able to log into the MCAS tests, that their Chromebooks are working and they're able to take the tests, as well as testing our network to make sure that the Chromebooks can reach the testing servers. What this also offers us an opportunity is to make sure that teachers understand how to administer the test to the students and deal with any troubleshooting issues that may come up during the test. So we have the students log in with testing tickets. They start to take a practice test, and during the test we'll ask some students to log out and simulate some technical issues that the teachers will then troubleshoot and get the students back on their test.
Thanks to the school budget and town meeting, the Norwood School provides Chromebooks for every student in grades 6 through 12. This has had a positive impact in the classroom and also for remote learning during COVID. But it also has improved the efficiency of the MCAS testing process.
We went 1-to-1 in grades 6 to 12 3 years ago, and what that did was allow us to be able to test all of our students in one day. In the past, when we had Chromebook carts in the schools, our MCAS testing would arrange weeks at a time, because we would have to test one grade level at a time and move carts around and test them, and then set up another day where we test another grade level. Now that all of the students have their own Chromebooks, grades 6, 7, and 8 can all test on the same day. And it leaves a lot more time for instruction than just testing.
Special thanks to the entire IT team here in Norwood. They provide a vital role in our system and are appreciated by administrators, teachers, students, and parents. Well, that's it for the school news. There's something interesting happening in our classrooms and schools every day, and thanks to all the educators who share their news with us. Now let's go to Brian Dunn for the latest in Fall 2 sports.
Hello and welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn, and a few things to wrap up as we end our Fall 2 coverage with both freshman and JV football versus Hopkinton. The freshmen had to battle the elements in the rain Saturday, but it was all Brian Keneally in this one. Bursting in the run game, Keneally dominated on the ground with rushing touchdowns and a second-half kickoff that was taken all the way to the house. Norwood ends the season strong and rolls into this one 28-6. JV football on Patriots Day had better weather for their contest and put on a great performance to end the year. Both the ground game and the air attack were on display in this one, as the Mustangs were able to stave off Hopkinton on the defensive side of the ball to seal the victory. And varsity concluded with a decisive victory against the Hillers on the road 49-35, which confirms they have secured a share of the TVL Large Conference Championship. The first time any such championship has been attached to Norwood since the year 2002. Congrats to Manny and the entire team on a job well done this year. And another quick shout out goes to Megan Olbrys, who garnered a Boston Herald All-Scholastic for girls basketball, adding to an already incredible hoops career here at NHS. And that's going to do it for sports this week. Once again, we have a few weeks off here for spring sports tryouts, but the gears get right on rolling in a few weeks, so stay tuned to NCM on social media for updates on when we will be going live with our spring sports coverage. I'll talk to you next week. Back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Tuesday was a busy day in government, starting with the Board of Health in the morning. The meeting began with a hearing for a home burial mausoleum at 8 Suffolk Drive. After a brief discussion, the project was approved. Following the hearing, the board discussed the upcoming Hazardous Waste Day on May 8th, and then Impact Norwood Director Aubrey Seall presented on their new We Are the Norm campaign. To end the meeting, Sigal Reese provided her director's report. The next Board of Health meeting is scheduled for May 17th. The Board of Selectmen were introduced to the town's new finance director at this week's meeting. Meg LeMay has been selected to fill the vacancy that will be left by current finance director Tom McQuaid following his retirement.
Meg, if you'd be kind enough to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are now, what you do, and anything else you'd like to say.
Sure. So right now, I am the finance director for the town of Carver. Previously, I was the finance director in Situate, and then town accountant in Situate, town accountant in the town of Hanson. I did graduate from Holy Cross. I went to Suffolk University for my master's degree. It was a master's in taxation, but I also had what's known as a GDPA. It's basically just the accounting classes to sit for the CPA exam. I do have my CPA. I am a certified public accountant. So I think that's pretty much all the highlights.
Ms. LeMay is excited to be joining the community, and we look forward to having her here in town. The Board of Selectmen will meet again next week. The final meeting of Tuesday night was the Zoning Board. The meeting began by nominating Scott Murphy as the new chair of the board. The first case was an addition to a house on Pine Street. The applicants asked for an extension to the next meeting on May 4th at 7 p.m., and the board motioned to approve the extension. Next, the board discussed the UAV LLC 180-day extension request and came to a conclusion to take no action on it at this time. The second case of the evening was an addition to a house on Gay Street. The board motioned to close the hearing and approve the addition. The final case of the night was a continued hearing on the East Hoyle Street sign. The board ended the meeting by motioning to close the hearing and approve the sign on East Hoyle Street. The zoning board will meet again on May 4th. The Conservation Commission met Wednesday night and discussed the fate of a small fort that was constructed on conservation land out at University Ave. Conservation agent Holly Jones visited the site and reported back to the board.
Yeah, so again, this is something that was briefly touched on at our last meeting and was not anticipated and on the agenda. But this is a matter that was brought to my attention by Mr. Greeley, who I always appreciate for being eyes and ears on many of our land. And so, as Mr. Washburn noted earlier, this is a fairly large structure on University Ave, but it's sort of like a little cabin or lean-to, fairly deep into the woods, out of sight from the road. And so I think the Conservation Commission has a question of how to address this structure and structures like it in the future, possibly.
Commission Chairman Stephen Washburn realized what the issue could be.
I would start just by offering that my position on this is that, having visited the site and really spent a lot of time there kind of taking it all in, there's considerable amount of disturbance that occurred to the property to make this happen. There was some clearing that occurred. There were some small diameter stumps present. There was the shovel I mentioned, approximately 10 to 12 inch in diameter, more than a foot deep penetrations in the ground, a fire pit constructed. I don't see how, and I'm very open-minded, but I don't see how we could proceed in any other direction than to remove this structure and to contend this type of disturbance on our properties.
The Concom will meet again in the coming weeks. Thursday night, the town of Norwood hosted Municipal Finance 101 via Zoom. Municipal Finance 101 is a great way for new town meeting members to get a quick look at how the town of Norwood operates its finances and gives town meeting members a better understanding of the items they could potentially be voting on. And for complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for more town news. Welcome back. The Recreation Department is so excited to announce the return of the 32nd South Norwood Fishing Derby and Rubber Ducky Race after last year's cancellation. Let's head over to Christina Grande for more.
Hey there, Norwood. Christina Grande here at the Haws Pond and Brook. Next Saturday, May 1st, the 32nd Annual Fishing Derby and Rubber Duck Race will be held here. Registration will be here beginning at 2 o'clock p.m. For more information, you can email me, cgrandy@norwoodma.gov, and we would like to sincerely thank all of our sponsors who are making this happen. See you soon.
Thursday night, the Morrill Memorial Library celebrated Earth Day with a sustainability series talking about native planting. They reviewed many ways to get rid of using chemical waste on your lawn and gardens. We're currently experiencing a drought, so Kristen explained why native plants can experience droughts and are better for your garden. These native plants not only grow without as much water, but they also improve the soil around them, provide diverse habitats, and improve genetic diversity. Kristen went on to give some native plant suggestions that would work to plant in Norwood.
If you're looking for shrubs to replace invasives like Rose of Sharon and Burning Bush, yes, they are both invasive. We love New Jersey tea, Ceanothus americanus. Viburnum, which is the American cranberry bush, Viburnum trilobum. The high bush blueberry, Vaccinium cornbusum. We love serviceberry, one of our favorites, Amelanchier canadensis. And also there's the witch hazel, Hemamelis virginiana. Cool party trick, if you can just roll scientific names off your tongue like that, people will think you're a genius. It just takes a little practice. Rhododendron and azaleas are native here too. Remember, no cultivars. Pollinator powerhouse plants. These plants were specifically chosen to support our at-risk bumblebees as well as other pollinators. Top of the list for us is the giant purple hyssop, Agastache scrofulariae folia. We love showy goldenrod, Solidago speciosa. And my personal favorite is the bee balm, Monarda fistulosa. We have foxglove beard tongue, Penstemon digitalis, and of course, the milkweeds, the Asclepias family. We have quite a few that are native in this area. For ground cover or lawn replacement, this is just a few that we recommend. Top of our list is the Pennsylvania sedge. We love this, Carex pennsylvanica. This is a tall, moderately tall growing. It looks just like grass. It's a sedge. You can let it grow. It'll flop over in nice, pretty little swaths all through your lawn. You can mow it if you really want to. You don't have to. And you'd only need to mow it once, maybe twice a year. Wild strawberry is another favorite of ours, Fragaria virginiana. Plantain pussy toes, these are adorable. Antinaria plantamigenifolia. And one of our many native violets, bird's foot violet, Viola pedata.
Finally, after the presentation, there were many questions answered from those who attended. To watch the full sustainability series on native planting, watch it on the NCM Community Channel. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week, and until then, have a great weekend.